During the hearing of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, I asked her a question, and it has caused a lot of conversation. I said, can you provide me with the definition of the word woman? Well, she refused and said she was not a biologist, therefore she could not. Since then, I hear from everybody, and I bet you do too. You hear them say, well, what is a woman? And my next guest was demoted for answering a very similar question. Until last summer, he was the deputy editorial page editor of USA Today. Now he is the executive editor of Straight Arrow News. David Mastio, welcome to Unmuted with Marsha. We're delighted to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Senator.
Absolutely. We're delighted that you're here. Well, earlier this year, you were finally able to tweet something that you couldn't say before. People don't get pregnant, women do. That was your tweet. So what events really led to putting up that tweet, and why does the left have such a very difficult time coming to terms with that basic biological fact?
Well, last August, USA Today started changing its style guide for how we were going to refer to people who are pregnant. We're going to refer to them as pregnant people instead of pregnant women. And we sent out our first news alert with pregnant people in the body of the news alert. And I responded on Twitter by saying the people who get pregnant are also called women. Within minutes, I heard from the editorial page editor that people on the staff were hurt and dismayed by that tweet, which I thought was just telling the truth. And within days, I had been demoted and stripped of my management position for I don't know what exactly, for offending the trans ideologues on our staff. You know, people who are supposed to be journalists but have put their opinions above the facts. And well, as for the question of why the left is so hung up on this, you know, I don't know. I know what's happening at newspapers is we have been replacing experienced centrist journalists with young woke college graduates who think it's normal to have speech codes and to worry about microaggressions and come with all of this ideological baggage from the colleges where they learn this stuff.
Yeah, and it's so amazing to me. You know, you look at what is coming out of newsrooms, whether it's headlines or tweets, and they're claiming that women aren't women and continue to point this out. We've talked about the women can't get pregnant. We have all of this going on with biological males competing against biological females. And you are seeing opinion come from these newsrooms. And, you know, I'd like to hear from you. Do you think that making female attributes apply to everybody is something they're trying to do in order to erase womanhood, erase motherhood, erase female accomplishment?
I think there are some fundamental factual differences between you and I from a biological perspective. You're a woman and I'm a man, and it's that difference that they want to erase. I don't think they want to erase women. I think they want to erase men just as much. You know, while all the attention has focused on women, these people think just as strongly that a person with a uterus and ovaries can decide that they're a man, and we should refer to them as a man, and we should change all of our language to accommodate that, you know, that personal preference.
Let's go back to USA Today. I would be curious to know if any of your colleagues really stood up for you, or spoke to you, supported you, agreed with you during that time in that instance?
One colleague of mine spoke up and actually liked my tweet and spoke up internally that what I had said was the factual truth, but she left USA Today at about the same time I did, because it was clear that we were not welcome there. Of the hundreds of other USA Today employees, I didn't hear from a single one.
Amazing. David, when we look at this trend, you're a veteran journalist. So how do we think that this woke political shift is actually impeding the American public from getting points and counterpoints and facts? And how is that impeding them? Because so often we hear people say, I don't want opinion, I want facts.
Well, I think trust in the media has plummeted in recent decades. And this is a trend that has been going on for a long time, of newsrooms getting more and more disconnected from the values of the people whose communities that they cover. And it's particularly atrocious for Gannett, that has big newspapers in places like Tennessee and Iowa and Indiana, Texas, Arizona, places that are red or purple. And with such a disconnect between newspapers and the public that they serve, I don't think that anyone trusts them anymore. And it's dangerous for our democracy.
Yes, we all want to have an informed public and have them know what truly is taking place. And I know that our Unmuted with Marsha audience is going to want to catch up with you. They're going to find you online and on social media at David Mastio. And always our audience will find me at Marsha Blackburn. Thank you so much, David, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.